Kia ora koutou, Reese from QuickSense here, and today we're looking at y equals mx plus c. Now, y equals mx plus c is the general equation for straight lines. What we have is the y, which is how far up and down we're going, and the x, how far left and right we're going. The other parts of this equation that are important is the m and the c. The m stands for, if you believe it, gradient. So the m is the gradient. Another way of thinking of the gradient is the slope, or rise over run. So you may have heard some of these terms. So that's m. The second part of this equation, or the second important part, is c. And c is the constant, so it's never changing. More importantly, though, from a construction point of view, is that it is the y-intercept. And it's the y-intercept because if x is 0, which is what it is at the y-intercept, then m times 0 is 0, leaving us with only c. So we can always find the y-intercept by figuring out what c is. So this question here, though, isn't asking us for the y-intercept. It's after the x-intercept. And the x-intercept is where y equals 0. That is, we're not going up and down at all. We are exactly in line with that x-axis, so y equals 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to construct the specific equation of this straight line and then find out what x is when y is 0. So m is the slope of the straight line, right? That's what we're after, is 3. So y equals 3x, and c, its y-intercept is minus 6. Now with this in mind, we've got minus 6 here, and we got 3. With this in mind, I'm going to substitute that x is 0, the x-intercept, that y is 0, giving me this equation. Rearranging it, adding 6 to both sides gives me 0 plus 6 is 6. Minus 6 plus 6 is 0. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Let's move that over there. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 3 divided by 3 is 1, leaving x by itself. Therefore, the x-intercept is at 2. And if they want this in terms of coordinates, x first, then y. This next equation immediately looks a little bit intimidating, right? Because instead of mx plus c, we've got a plus bx minus 2a minus b. So what does this mean, right? Well, the question's asking us to find the values of a and b. So with this in mind, what information can I use to help? Well, I know that this here is going to be c, right? Let's think about y equals mx plus c. This matches up to that, right? It's the equation of a straight line. And down below, I can see that the y-intercept, which we know is c, is -1. So immediately, I'm aware of that. And I'm made aware of something else as well. There is a value, a coefficient in front of the x, which is a plus b. And the gradient of the line is -3. So with these two things in mind, I can make two equations. A plus b is equal to -3. And the second one is that negative 2a minus b is equal to -4. And the reason I'm including that negative is because c is plus c, right? So it's important that this is a negative. If I didn't include it, I get a wrong answer. So let's simplify number 2. I'm going to divide both sides by -1. Remember, there's always an invisible 1 there. So this side divided by -1, divided by -1, well, that gets rid of that negative on both sides. And I'm going to leave it at that for now. So there are two ways of solving this simultaneous equation. You can either solve it with elimination, or you can solve it with substitution. I'm going to solve it using elimination, and then if you would like, you can try to solve it using substitution yourself. So what I want to do is find, right, I'm going to stack these on top of each other. So our first equation, 1, is 1a, and there's a reason I'm writing these down, plus 1b equals -3. Number 2 is 2a minus 1b equals 4. Now what I'm looking for, or looking at, are the coefficients in front of a and b. And I want to find a way of adding these equations together to cancel them out. And if I can't do it immediately, I'm going to have to scale up one of the equations. So for example, I cannot add or subtract 1 and 2 together to make 0. What I can do is times 1 by 2. Doing that means that I can then eliminate or cancel them out. Luckily though, plus 1 and minus 1 go together perfectly. So if I add both of these together, right, so we normally do that with square brackets. Let's just move this around. 1 plus 2 is 3 lots of a. 1 plus -1 is 0. And -3 plus 4 is 1. So a is equal to 1 over 3. Knowing this, okay, I can sub a equals 1/3 into the first equation. So a, which we know is 1/3, plus b equals -3. So if I subtract 1/3 from both sides, I get b minus 3 and 1/3. So what are the values of a and b? Well, a is 1/3 and b is -3 and 1/3. If you'd like to try the substitution method, I recommend you do, and double check your answers against mine.